All right, it is just before 7 a.m. and I've got my lists started, what our orders are going to be. You know, one thing when I'm putting these lists together in the morning is I don't always have all these orders placed. I'm kind of guessing. I tell my chefs to get their orders to me by 7 a.m. or sorry, by 9 a.m. So it's not 9 a.m. yet. It's still before 7. So I'm guesstimating based on what they had last week. So at least can get us started. And if they order a few more pounds of this or a few less pounds of that, it's not a big deal. We always have some extra stock that we can move, maybe take a little bit more to the farmer's market or short the farmer's market a little bit. That's usually what we're doing. But this morning I've got Diego with me and gonna get out here and harvest some spinach in my front yard with the greens harvester, and we're gonna try out the drone and see how she goes. So this is the third cut of this spinach, and it's a tall crop, so it means I'm going to harvest it a little higher, so we'll see how that plays out. Okay, we got a little less than I thought. It's because on the second and third cuts of spinach, it actually starts to get you get a less succulent leaf, so it gets thinner. You start to get a shape like this, which is more of they call a savoid shape or an arrowhead shape, and your yields go down a little bit. So that was the third cut on that bed, and those beds are done because, oh, and if I can show you, if I had a seed head, it was starting to go to seed, and where did I put that one? I can't find it. Anyways, you'll start to see blossoming like this in the mustard bed, but in the spinach, and then you know you don't want it to grow again because that's going to compromise your crop. So when you see the odd one going to seed, then you know the crop is done. Alright, so we're just loading up. Mark is going to load up the bike. He's going to get to the plot that we're going to. He'll be there before us. He's going to start harvesting lettuce, and Diego and I are going to hop in the van, and we'll be harvesting from at least 2 plots today. Alright, well, we're here at Lawrence. Mark is already at it harvesting lettuce, and I'm just realizing that this spinach here needs to be harvested as well. So and I don't need it, but it's already a little too big. Keeping it in the ground longer would make it way too big, and so we're gonna harvest that spinach. These turnips, we're gonna harvest probably at least one of these beds of salad mix or of lettuce, and probably gonna have to harvest both these beds of red Russian as well. All right. Okay, so Roger and Alen are harvesting and pruning. So this red Russian got a little big on me. It's not too bad, but it's a little bigger than I'd like. All right, I always put I don't know if I've showed you guys this before, but I've put a little cardboard piece on my blade, and then I use just some clips to clip it on. Keeps it from knocking anything and cutting anybody, and from banging up the blade. Harvested both those beds of red Russian. This was a first cut, and that was a second cut. On the first cut, got about 15 pounds there, and then these two, second cut, maybe about 20, so it was interesting. A little bit more on the second cut there. But there was some germination problems with this one at first, so it didn't come out perfect. Better to harvest one of the ones at my place and mix it because it might be a thicker.
For sure.
Yeah.
But like these are at the point where I think it's like Jan's I think are a little too cooked.
Okay.
And it's because they got so big, and then they get, you know, a big perimeter of the stuff that doesn't grow back.
The soil might not have been great.
Right.
We mended it the best we could, but
the perfect size head is like, this is a perfect first cut head right here.
yeah. Perfect time to cut it. Mark's got a good haul off that. This bed's almost done. That's like 10. About 15, 12, 10. So it's looking like he'll get around 60 pounds from that bed. So that means we might need to cut another one. We're just deciding if whether we cut it here or at my place. All right, now I'm gonna take the greens harvester, cut this bed of spinach. All right, we're getting our first major picking from these guys. This looks like it's all Sakura and Sweet Baby Girl and a little bit of Sun Gold. You guys probably noticed Diego hanging around. He's putting together some content. That's gonna cut. You're gonna do like a series or something on that, Diego?
Yeah, the whole idea is to follow you throughout the day here and just see what a day is like. Kind of do a minute by minute journalistic perspective of, hey, it's 7:30 in the morning. What are you doing now? What are you moving on with? What problems might come up? What's working well? Those types of things.
Nice. So when can people expect that to come out?
Probably later on. That'll be one episode of The Urban Farmer coming up later in the year.
Nice. All right, guys. If you haven't checked it out already, go to permaculturevoices/TUF.
Permaculturevoices.com, yeah, /TUF or /theurbanfarmer.com.
There you go. And we've got like a whole season, what was the first season we did?
45 episodes from season 1. So far we're up to season 2, episode number 13. So there's about 60 episodes up there that people can get, all about an hour long.
All right.
Tons of content for on the go when you can't watch him on YouTube.
Exactly. All right, we got a pretty good load there. I'm gonna take all this gear back. Okay, so I just loaded everything into the cooler and I weighed it and labeled it. See all my tags there. So I just made a tally of everything I got. We got 57 pounds of lettuce from that one bed. I got 17 pounds of spinach from that one bed. And 13 pounds of red Russian from one bed and 11 pounds from the new bed. So that means that we're gonna have to get a little bit more lettuce because we need 100 pounds of spring mix for today. And so I'm thinking, instead of harvesting one of those beds that can sit for another week or two, we might as well harvest this bed, which is on its third cut, and then it's done, because it can't sit in the ground too much longer. It's gonna stress and it might bolt or go to seed. So we're better off harvesting this bed and leaving those ones for another week. And since I'm here right now, before I head back, I'm just gonna throw a bit of water on all of my shoots. They need to be watered at least twice a day, I find, and so just gonna do this because I know we're gonna be getting caught up in some other stuff for a little while, so I might as well do this now so they don't wilt down on me, which can happen if you miss a watering. So water all my pea shoots and these bean plugs here. These are just for our garden. We're gonna plant them at another one of our plots just for ourselves to eat. Water all these guys. So we will probably harvest, well, I know we're gonna harvest some of these sunflower shoots today, but later in the day, and we'll harvest the rest of them tomorrow. Well, I'm back. And all we got to get here now is turnips, because we're gonna get lettuce at my place, or my neighbor's place. But we're gonna be off to another plot to get radishes right after this. But one of us will probably just take these turnips home, put them in the cooler, then maybe myself, I'll go over to the other plot and get those radishes. All right, we're all done here. Looks like we're gonna have 25, this is 25 pounds of turnips here, plus Mark's got another 15 there, so looks like we got what we needed, I think. Actually, I'm gonna check the list. So we're at the second plot, and I'm just gonna walk in and check on what we have to harvest. I was hoping I could get another cut of greens here, but that was kind of hoping for something that wasn't likely. So all I gotta get here is radishes, so we won't be here very long. I need about 35 pounds of radishes, or around 30 pounds of radishes, and what I'm getting here is some various sizes. So I'm getting some small ones, and then this kind of one here is my biggest size. So that's good, because I'm not gonna crop out. I'm just gonna take what I need. If I came here and they were all like that at the smallest, then I'd crop it out, because if I left them in the ground too long, they'd get pithy. So I'm just gonna take what I need here, and then we're out of here and back to the home base. Okay, change of plans. I'm actually gonna crop both these beds of French breakfast radishes out, because I kind of forgot that it was Thursday in my haste. So if I leave these till Monday, that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, that's 4 more days. That if that's my biggest radish, that's gonna be twice the size on Monday. That means that most of them will be pithy. So I don't need them all right now. I can move most of them on Monday, so I'm gonna crop it all out right now. So these radishes are a prime example of you never really know what you've got until you get in there. And you can see that at the front of the bed here, the radishes are small. So if I was just judging on my initial assumption like I did at first, then I would have been correct. But you have to get into the bed to really notice. And the reason that they're a little bit underdeveloped here is because there's an old, crappy old, I don't know what this is. It's some kind of fruit tree. I think it's like a coppiced walnut tree or something. Actually, no, it's not walnut. It's hazelnut. It's a hazelnut tree. And yeah, so once you get into the bed, once I get in here and pull stuff out, it's a lot more sizable. So that's the lesson there. You gotta just get in there to figure out what you've got. All right, so that's harvested, and so I got 4 crates, so that's probably 80 pounds of radishes off these 2 beds. It might even be more. They might be 25 each, so it might be 100, which is, you know, 50 pounds per 25-foot bed is a pretty good yield. But I just wanted to show you guys something. We got some weed pressure coming in here. This site has been weedy for quite a while. Like, it's not because we don't stale seed bed it or tarp it or anything like that. It's just that there's weed pressure blowing in here, and it's always been that way. So I've cropped these beds out. I've removed my walkway fabrics, and I'm gonna come back. I've got a new flame weeder I wanna try out. You guys can check that out, but I'm gonna come back here and torch these beds after we drop off this veg. Okay, one thing I'm gonna do as well is, this is a bed of Easter egg radishes here, and it's been harvested once already. We'll come in on Monday to thin harvest again, and it'll be done. We'll crop it out. Oh, sorry, it was thin harvested. Now we'll crop it out next Monday. I've got a bed of turnips over there on the first bed that we planted that isn't covered with the fabric, so I'm gonna just uncover these radishes right now, because root maggot won't be able to establish itself in the 4 days that I have to wait to harvest these. So I'm just gonna take the chance, move the fabric over there, uncover this one, crop it out on Monday, and then we're done. So we're all done here. We've been here for 40 minutes. Just to recap on what we did: cropped out 2 beds of French breakfast radishes, took the tunnels off those. I'm bringing them in the truck so I have them at home so they can go in other beds. Took this tunnel off here with the hoops and moved it over to this bed here. And then we will uncover these beds on Monday to turn them over to replant. And I'll come back here to flame weed these beds. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I might as well stack both those tasks at the same time. I might as well wait till Monday till we turn these beds over to come in with the flame weeder, because if those aren't totally broken down, I can flame them then. So these will sit and the weeds will germinate over the weekend, and that might be better for flaming anyways. Diego's got a full load of radishes there. So now we're out of here, and just wanted to give you guys an organizational note of what I'm doing. So I just told you what I'm gonna do here. Immediately, I'm putting that into my phone on my Wonderlist app and putting when those things are gonna happen, so that I know I get an alert on Monday. Remember, you gotta do this, because if you don't write this stuff down and manage it, you can easily forget. There's so many tasks to do on a farm. You don't wanna be sitting there on Friday going, what did we have to do again on Monday? You wanna know, and it's gonna be in there. So that's one thing that we do constantly. All right, now we're back here washing stuff. We got Diego over there is getting the greens off the screen. Mark is washing lettuce, and I will start washing radishes if I can make room to do it. Packing up my bike trailer, taking 50 pounds, 5 boxes to one customer. It's a Thursday, don't normally do that, but these guys buy up to 100 pounds of greens a week, and they pay on time and they're easy to work with, so I don't mind going the extra mile for customers like that. So I'll be back in 10 minutes. Mark is out here harvesting in the heat. This is exactly what I tell you not to do, and we're doing it because we need these greens now. We're a little short, and we're gonna hydro cool them right away. So it's a team effort. As Mark's harvesting, I'm taking the bins and putting them in cold water. So I got my washing station. I'm putting water on them immediately, and then they're gonna get a bath in here, and they're gonna get dried and then put in the cooler. All right, so it's 4 o'clock and we are done for the day. You guys probably noticed that recently, it's just a lot of packing that we're doing. We spend most of our day packing, washing, and portioning and delivering vegetables. That's mostly what we're doing. And that is, we're doing that a little bit more than normal because we've scaled up. We're selling to a lot more grocery stores and bigger restaurants now. But it's pretty typical in the sense that once I get into my high season, which is now, which is mid to late June, until September, I call this the high season, and this is where it's just turn and burn. We're constantly just harvesting. We're harvesting, planting, doing bed prep. But really, like 40% of the work we're doing right now is in the field. The other 60% is here. Packing, washing, portioning, delivering. And that's kind of how we've built our farm, and it's great in the summer because it's so hot right now. It's got up to 38 degrees Celsius, which is 100 Fahrenheit today, and we are in the shade during the hottest part of the day, so it's a really nice thing. Anyways, that's the day, guys. I'm gonna go and have dinner with Diego and some other friends, and maybe fly the drone around a bit for fun, so we'll see you tomorrow. If you guys want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button right now, like and share them with your friends, and check out my online course, profitableurbanfarming.com, and my book at theurbanfarmer.co. And if you'd like to make a donation to the show, it's very welcome and much appreciated. You can do that at theurbanfarmer.co/support.